Alright, welcome up. Good evening to Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Obviously, the evening edition. Bro, I have say lots to talk about, especially throughout the world of football and all, of course, all of the games, especially in the transfer window. See, a lot of things are happening. A lot of movements, movements, baby, obviously. Of course, I Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube, so I want to subscribe to the channel now. Make sure subscribe to the channel and turn on notification and making sure say anytime be a better notification you are choose or send me anytime my content ever drop you are first to have it here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Obviously, also away from all the other conversations, one thing that's also very clear, and I said thank you very much to all of you who do share the content for us on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. I see you know, mama. For swing analysis, and want to say a big thank you to all of you. Some of our content on the channel on a year ago. We are getting to the 25,000 subscribers now. Channel very soon in the next few weeks. I'm sure we are going to be there at 25,000 subscribers now. You bet me everyone. What is happening in the transfer window? And then AC in the morning it was Barca, and I know Moshe so maybe the deal for Ronald Araujo to go on loan to Juventus. What has happened to that deal? Now, in the last few hours, something dramatic or Italy. It will cause a lot of movements. Now, it is about Kvaratskhelia. A lot of people say it is Kvaratskhelia. Other people say it is Kvara. I mean, all of however you want to pronounce the name. But of course, Kvaratskhelia, a Jordanian player, 2 seasons ago, when Victor Osimhen took the Italian Serie A by storm under Luciano Spalletti. What happened is that Kvaratskhelia was an important player for Napoli in their run to go and win the Scudetto. In fact, at the time, none agents crowding said he was the better player in the Italian Serie A than Abranchia Victor Osimhen. Of course, Victor went on to win the Coppa Caponieri, which is the top scorer in Italian Serie A, and also the MVP of Italian Serie A. Now, Victor has moved on from Napoli to go to team Galatasaray. Before Victor went to Galatasaray, we knew how Chelsea were in there. That Chelsea, Victor Osimhen. Now, Chelsea looks like the conversation of Kvaratskhelia and Chelsea. Now, the details are there. The devil is in the maybe remove. Now I explain you why it looks as if Branchia, your friend of Kvaratskhelia, may go on and then move to Chelsea. But first of all, the backstory, and they say when Branchia, friend of Victor Osimhen, a movie away from Napoli to go and play at Galatasaray. When he was moving, it was because Victor Osimhen didn't want to sign a contract extension. Now at the time, now Osha the contract now Kananaka Osimhen 1 year on a contract. So but for Abranti, a friend of Kvaratskhelia, now kind of 2 years. In fact, there was a possibility of an extension for a further year on a contract. So now, time no, Paris Saint-Germain, Real Madrid were the 2 top runners for Abranti, a friend of Kvaratskhelia. Of course, Real Madrid has gone on to sign Kylian Mbappe, and obviously they are not in a rush to go and sign an attacker. Real Madrid main focus is to get a center back in there. To get a full back. Right fullback. I don't know what they trained Alexander-Arnold aiding extensively to try and get Abrantia, your friend Trent Alexander-Arnold into their team. Madrid's plan is to get Trent Alexander-Arnold into their team. So at right back, the issue of Dani Carvajal and saying 7, they will get a replacement in there. So Madrid really aren't looking at attacker. But for Paris Saint-Germain, in the last few years, what has gone on is that after the departure of Kylian Mbappe, Paris Saint-Germain for Kofa Ousmane Dembele, even before Mbappe left, they brought in a boy called Bradley Barcola. Then they brought in Desiree Doué. Then in the middle of the park, in terms of center forward area, Paris Saint-Germain had Gonzalo Ramos, any Abrante friend Randall Colomwani, team. Now the plan is simple. They wanted to move away from the regular Galacticos. Now Paris Saint-Germain for try somebody with Neymar, Messi, Mbappe in the last few years now and bear any fruits for them. What they wanted to do now is to get a team of young, hungry players, essentially our France, to push them to get results and then score some goals and win them something. Oh, Paris Saint-Germain, hold on. Now it looks as if they still need a focal point. They need a player in times where things are a little bit difficult for them. No? So a player alone can pick up games and then win it for them. And it looks as if their sights have been turned on a branch here, Kvaratskhelia from Napoli. Like I said, or a Jordanian player, top player in there. With me both on the left and on the right. At the time, it was Mattia Politano and your branch here, your friend Kvaratskhelia over there. Now the thing is that it looks as if Chelsea is a part of the conversation of Kvaratskhelia. And I'm going to get straight into it. Kvaratskhelia and what it brings to the team. One, it's the dribbling ability to hold up the ball and then to control the game. How good of a player brings here your friend Kvaratskhelia on the ball, off the ball, how he impacts games now. He's a truly top player for team of friend in Napoli. Now, especially Kvaratskhelia, or a left winger, meaning so a right-footed, or into Chelsea left wing area now. Issue with Mihailo Mudryk, it looks as if that's where he can play. I will explain to you why in Chelsea all of a sudden have been in a conversation for a bench of friend of Kvaratskhelia in that conversation, and the fact that he may go on and then move from there. And the contract in Napoli for 23 years of age. It means that Chelsea for system players 24 years or younger. A branch of Kvaratskhelia is in there. Obviously, there are times where he can play on the right wing, but not as a natural right winger. All born as a right winger, it means that he would have to go to the byline and cross because a natural right-footed player was that area more than. But essentially, he is more of a left winger in that regard, and he's very good playing in that area. My Murphy said the story of Kvaratskhelia is an interesting one, and I'll run you through it. How Kvaratskhelia 18 free. In Chrome, Georgia, ever boy, Italian and how Italy took a decision on him. Somebody never bomb about giving now. Kvaratskhelia a transfer any next season. In terms of the contracts, no will end with Napoli. Next summer. Now, what is happening is that because ne contracts ne everybody a lot of the teams are beginning to ask themselves if they want him now. Kvaratskhelia agent also feels and Antonio Conte, he doesn't really look like a player or better driver, so they would want to move him away from team of friend in Napoli. Mind you, this is a player what kind of several times or know as a player. The two favorite clubs, Madrid, and of course mainstay Madrid, but sometimes also he has favored and he has loved team of friend FC Barcelona. He would love to go in there. Now this is the story in itself. Now, because Kvaratskhelia contracts never ended, not the main suitors for a brand friend Kvaratskhelia are Paris Saint-Germain. Now, if you go to Paris Saint-Germain, another young left-footed winger, left winger, a friend of Badi Bakola. Now, Bakola came from the FC Lyon conveyor belt of talents now. And Bakola Mbappe, Mami Entourage, the last time this boy also from Lyon, any Kylian Mbappe, all of these guys are being managed by Faisal Amari, who is the mother of Kylian Mbappe, and it's very likely said these boys they may move on now because Kvaratskhelia Paris Saint-Germain, then you cannot keep Bradley Bakola. You're gonna keep Bradley Bakola. It means that either of Bradley Bakola and a branch of friend Kvaratskhelia, one may go. The conversation between Paris Saint-Germain and Kvaratskhelia is very well advanced in terms of what will happen, who will go where. Now the thing is that Paris Saint-Germain have said several times, said Napoli for Paris Saint-Germain for striker, I friend Milan Skriniar, I'm free Inter Milan. Or a centre back Antonio Conte Penasempana. So Abrana Antonio Conte Internazionale Milano. He was one of the centre backs on your ball who use so much on. Now what Paris Saint-Germain would want to do, they said Milan Skriniar is not getting playing time under Luis Enrique. So what they want to do is that they want to go into a certain level of a swap or exchange deal between Fiifi-Manfred and Abrantia friend Milan Skriniar. For Milan Skriniar to go to Napoli, and Napoli for this kakakra. I mean, Paris Saint-Germain for this kakakra home. Normal for Abrantia, your friend Fiifi-Manfred. But Napoli for have not shown say Omope Abrantia friend Milan Skriniar. I mean, it needs full force. And Marifi, it's a former Napoli sporting director. I friend Guantoli is one of the players, one of the guys that CCL called Juventus, and he really wanted to keep Abrantia friend Fiifi-Manfred. But at least as he said, Paris Saint-Germain, any team, your friend in Napoli are getting close to get Abrantia, your friend Fiifi-Manfred. Now the thing is that once Fiifi-Manfred goes to Paris Saint-Germain, it gives an opportunity to Chelsea. In the issue of Abrantia, your friend Mihailo Modric, and then since in the last few weeks, how Modric has lost the place of our Chelsea team in with a possible issue of doping that can see him sit out for years. I mean, for months also, can be a year or two for Abrantia friend Mihailo Modric. Chelsea would not mind to bring in another left winger out of him, because as it stands now, the only natural, comfortable left winger what Chelsea team named Abrantia friend Jadon Sancho. So Chelsea may have to bring in another left winger. Yeah, it said this month, by the end of the month, yeah, expected said the test for Abrantia friend Mihailo Modric sample B will come back, and then Chelsea can know exactly where the issues were with respect to Abrantia, your friend Mihailo Modric. Now, because of this, Chelsea are going to keep an eye on Abrantia, your friend Bradley Barcola. Marifi said Paris Saint-Germain in the last few months and weeks have also expressed serious interest in Abrantia, your friend Christopher Nkunku. Now, Paris Saint-Germain have said, almost number 10 obey the creative job on Fiifi on them in times where they want to go into a proper 4-2-3-1 there. Then it's going to be Christopher Nkunku. They have approached Chelsea, are made a little bit subtle, not too, hard or straightforward on Nkunku conversation. But Paris Saint-Germain for now have spoken, so they would love to have Abrantia friend Christopher Nkunku, and the package for Abrantia friend Fiifi-Manfred 80 million discussed since last year June. And Paris Saint-Germain for started so many Fiifi-Manfred encouraging aiding come about him, and the circle around that's not anything. Fiifi-Manfred may go to Paris Saint-Germain. Badly back collaborating about Chelsea. Badly, one of the players in Chelsea were looking at buying. Time and almost Abrantia friend Olise. Time and almost Cole Palmer. Time and almost Mohamed Kudus. It was around that time. And Abrantia near friend Badly Barcola and Chelsea for an action. Paris Saint-Germain had already reached the agent agreement in principle with Kvaratskhelia with a salary of 9 million euros plus 2 in terms of bonuses. Napoli for 80 to 100 million for Abrantia, my friend of Fiifi-Manfred. Now wait to see how that news goes on over there. Now it is very clear. Someone here, Chelsea may enter the race for Abrantia friend Fiifi-Manfred. Like I told you, Chelsea wants Fiifi-Manfred, and Chelsea for them are relaxed because they are in a position now. Fiifi-Manfred, they will get Bradley Barcola. Bradley is an excellent player, a little younger than Fiifi-Manfred. Very, very good on the ball. Excellent dribbler. So one of the wingers, so we are very, very good in terms of dribbling and then creating from wide areas. Yeah. Then Abrantia friend Bradley Barcola is one of those guys that can get a job done in there. And it looks as if Chelsea are going to have it. And one shady this January, Chelsea are going to get Fiifi-Manfred, Liam Delap, centre back or Honum Gay. And that's a shallow by Honum, of course. Then Chelsea will let Abrantia friend Kenan Dewsbury Hall, Kasade, Kanichukwu, Mekani Kuku. That would be statement January window for Chelsea. Get rid of players who are deadwood and don't fit the system, and bring in those who's instantly elevate. And let's as he said, maybe Chelsea will let Kenan Dewsbury Hall go. Maybe Chelsea will let Nkunku go because there's an extra number 10 on him. I know people may love Nkunku and I love him too, but as it stands now, he's surplus the requirements of Chelsea, and Chelsea may want either Abrantia friend Fiifi-Manfred. It looks as if Chelsea are going to get a left winger. Chelsea a push for our left winger. Now the problem, however, I say Fiifi-Manfred of it Enzo Mayorca system now how Mayorca wants to play his game. That's Fiifi-Manfred fit how exactly he wants to play. I think that Fiifi-Manfred to say Jadon Sancho on the natural wide winger. And I kind of several times say Enzo Mayorca per winger no be hard touchline. Winger now will be keeping the width. No stretch game no very much like Obitsa Abrantia, your friend what's his name, Noni Madueke, and even Pedro Neto. Now, there is another set of wingers where we call the La Porsa wingers. Wingers now, they will come inside to try and influence the game. They'll come into the half 10. They'll come and dictate the pace of the game in the half space. Like what we call the La Porsa winger. And one of them, a bunch of Jadon Sancho. There's also Vicha Kvaratskhelia can also be like that. People call them the techie winger for the ability to create in the half space, and the dribbling ability. The pulse and the half space, tight spaces, and the ball control inside, and also they can add finishing over them. I think that Chelsea would rather want a different profile than a branch friend Vicha Kvaratskhelia, and that's why I am thinking most likely Chelsea will get a branch your friend Bradley Barcola, huge one for Chelsea. Something that Chelsea may come on and do in terms of the kind of players that they want to get on the ball, off the ball, the kind of wingers that they want our games. Now I'm thinking that this is going to be something that we are going to see in the next few days, and as the transfer window in January gets to a huge close now, it's something that we're obviously going to see, and not Abrantia saying yet Vicha Kvaratskhelia Abrantia friend Bradley Barcola into NM1 say Vicha Kvaratskhelia ebeko Paris Saint-Germain in Kuku ebeko Paris Saint-Germain. Of course, Randall Colomwani ebe free team a friend of Paris Saint-Germain and go on loan to wherever they get him, not Chelsea. However, mate, so it is going to be team my friend Tottenham Hotspur who are going to get a branch friend Randall Colomwani up top to give them a different dynamic up top in terms of attack now. Then hopefully Chelsea say Basadia, it opens the pipeline for Chelsea to get a branch your friend Bradley Barcola or Honor. And I think say social media Barcola need too much of an upgrade on Chelsea wingers, but I think say he comes in there and he goes scoring ability and a very good wingers. I wish goes there. He's absolutely an example of an upgrade, not the best in terms of trickery and dribbling. Once he comes in, he gets the goals in there. And I think they really like Jadon Sancho. I think say goal scorers part here. You get Bradley Barcola that will come into Chelsea and come and elevate the system. Now away from the wingers now, one thing that Chelsea are also looking at is the fact that Matt Law explained to Obia said the people inside Cobham and Chelsea really do fancy Abrantia friend Liam Delap. They fancy him power. And maybe Chelsea are not going to get Liam Delap in January, but then in the summer they'll go in and then try and move in for Abrantia friend Liam Delap. Chelsea definitely have an eye for Liam Delap, and according to Abrantia, your friend Matt Law says a big eye for them. Barcelona and Juventus are reaching a deal finally for Abrantia friend Ronald Araujo. The Italians also reached a deal with a player, and he will travel to Turin next week to complete his medicals, according to La Repubblica. And I reported such story now, paying Medi him come over Araujo. Johan Cruyff said, if you have second thoughts on playing for Barcelona, you are no longer service to us. And that's exactly what they are doing. Overreaction or not, Pablo Torres should be ahead of Frankie de Jong in the pecking order in terms of on-the-ball job. Blessed Alex, and also Dihun come about Ronald Araujo and the possibility of leaving team a friend of Barcelona. Araujo leaving for a mediocre Juventus in reconstruction because he sees as a bad thing with Flick due to the level of Inigo Martinez and Kubasi can only be defined with one word. Wow, I think that's so harsh on our branch friend Ronald Araujo from Barcelona for journalists now, our Catalan crew modern. I think the Ronald Araujo wanted to sign a contract extension. What he wanted, Neya Katiantumu and Awenya. If Barca cannot give Ronald Araujo the contract extension, he would go somewhere that will give him the money. At least I see Juventus want to get in that money. In fact, Mundo Deportivo said Araujo feels burned out in some situations at Barcelona. He sees Hansi Flick has solid centre back with Pau Kubasi and Inigo Martinez, like I explained, and that the club is planning to sign Jonathan Tah, also Gavi. And so I say very, very likely Sabrante friend Ronald Araujo is going to move away from Team My Friend FC Barcelona and then go for that loan deal away at Team My Friend Juventus, because Ronald Araujo would want to get that done. I mean, in that regard. According to Eurofoot, also in terms of transfers, no other things are happening. Of course, Mekacho said coach Freno, Sean Dyche, Elusuna Juma, or Everton, and it looks as if it's going to move out there. Leighton Baines and Seamus Coleman will take charge of Everton's FA Cup match tonight versus Peterborough following the sacking of Sean Dyche. Sean Dyche, Elusuna Juma at Everton as it stands now. Wait to see how it's going to go on. Napoli for one set. Almost a Bournemouth player friend Philip Billing, 28 years old, centre forward. It can be an outlet for them. Fabrizio DiMarzio and air reported in terms of what Abrantia friend of Belling can go in there and come and do for Tima, your friend of Napoli. Paris Saint-Germain stepping up the effort. Fabrice Hawkins reporting for Abrantia friend Vicha Kvaratskhelia, and it's very clear. So once Vicha Kvaratskhelia moves to Paris Saint-Germain, there's a possibility of Abrantia, your friend Abrantia, your friend of Bradley Barcola, that will move to the next side, and this time for Chelsea Football Club to come in and get some of the players in there and then augment on score. Now it's something that Chelsea are really looking at in terms of players now, how good they can be. According to WhoScore.com, 72 dribbles attempted, 19 dribbles completed. Vicha Kvaratskhelia has the worst dribble success rate, 26.4% in the Serie A this season. This season hasn't been good at all for our Abrantia friend Vicha Kvaratskhelia, and that's the reason why Chelsea are really pushing. So if Vicha Echo Paris Saint-Germain there, then they'll go in for Abrantia friend Bradley Barcola to come in and then come and help with the football. Of course, a lot of European interest from West Ham and the for Chelsea player friend Kane and Drisby are also still players that to come and move in and then go and do their job done in there. Of course, it's something that's really going to happen in that. In terms of players, not a movie call the players that are coming in, the players that are going out for the various players. Now, it's something that's going to be really important over there. Of course, and then Chelsea for start your training game this week in FA Cup, and of course next week Bournemouth game on Bonham. Chelsea have started training. They had some days off. And then Abrantia friend Aaron and Silmino training with Chelsea. Nicholas Jackson a positive picture, and of course against Team Efreno more combi. Once she Abrantia friend Aaron and Silmino can go on and then go and play some games in there. In terms of games, number one, like I said earlier, Napoli for now closing in on Abrantia, Yefreno, Philippe Billing in there for them to go and play some good football that they have been playing. In terms of how good their teams now have been. Torino are preparing a new bid for Abrantia, Yefreno, Cesare Casadei to come in there and come and play some good football. It's something that they really want to go on and then get results for. Of course, we want to draw the curtain on today's analysis, this evening's transfer conversation. I will ask you on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Now subscribe to the channel. So subscribe and turn on notification. In the notification turn on, make sure you do choose all. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.